The overnight lows will be warmer and a lot milder. We'll also see a thick layer of clouds. After that, we start to see this low pressure system moving in. This isn't coming in until about Wednesday, and when that does, we should see temperatures cool down quite a bit more towards normal for this time of year. Here's a look at our computer forecast model. This is tonight at 11 o'clock, and as we put this into motion, where you see these big gaps, that indicates high pressure, and we're seeing a large space there between those two lines. So the northwest will be dominated with it throughout Saturday and Sunday, and you can see really no chance of seeing any rain showers these next couple of days either. We don't even have the instability to maybe see a thunderstorm or two. We had seen those threatening last week quite a bit. Here's a look at our forecast for tonight for the mountains. It should be a little bit chilly. If you're waking up in Stanley, 32 degrees overnight, 37 for Sun Valley, 57 for Council, 44 in Cascade. Then for tomorrow, temperatures warm up once again, and the mountains made a big rebound today in their high temperatures, but they're going to get even warmer tomorrow by a couple of degrees. 79 for McCall, 78 for Stanley, 87 in Idaho City. Here's a look at our forecast tonight in Boise. Mostly clear skies, definitely on the cool side, 58. Light winds about 10 miles per hour, and that will make it feel even cooler out there. And then for tomorrow, sunshine, 91 degrees again, a couple of degrees above normal. Our weekly planner showing by Sunday we're at 94. Monday and Tuesday, these are the days you need to worry about here, 98 and 99. However, that's just far enough out that maybe we won't see it, but
I'm all right with that.
You're all right with 98 and 99?
For now.
I've gotten really spoiled by the 80s.
Yeah, that has been nice. All right, thanks, Joni. Coming up next, the high gas prices are hurting Ford's profits, and now they say they're cutting production. Plus, more disturbing details emerge in the JeanBenet Ramsey case. You're watching KBCI-CBS 2 News.
Accurate, objective, fair. You're watching KBCI-CBS 2 News.
Disturbing new details emerged today in the decade-old murder case of JeanBenet Ramsey. CBS's Rhonda Schulting reports from Colorado.
If listening to his stunning admissions wasn't surprising enough,
death was an accident.
reading John Mark Carr's emails might be even more stunning. In one of the hundreds of correspondences with Colorado professor Michael Tracy, which was obtained by the Rocky Mountain News, Carr writes a poem saying, "JeanBenet, my love, my life, I love you and shall forever love you," and goes on to say, "If there is to be a life for me after this one, I pray it will be with you." And in another, he says he's the focus of, quote, a 4-state federal investigation for murder and child molestation. But federal officials tell CBS News that is not true. But there are some details about this 4-year-long correspondence which were not made public that prompted investigators to take a closer look at Carr. He described a $118,000 check stub found on John Ramsey's desk, also a unique staircase in the house, and the layout of the basement where JeanBenet was found.
Offer the same.
Adding to the stunning twist in this case, authorities searched the San Quentin jail cell of convicted poly-class murderer Richard Allen Davis. Officials say Carr, who was also obsessed with that child murder, might have contacted Davis.
We have no evidence that shows that there is any correspondence taking place between Richard Allen Davis and John Carr.
Another dead end in a case with more questions than answers. Rhonda Schulting for CBS News, Boulder, Colorado.
And Ford will be cutting production by 21%, making 168,000 fewer vehicles this year than last. The ailing automaker has already lost $1.5 billion so far this year as car buyers turn away from the gas-guzzling SUVs and trucks that were once Ford's bread and butter. Ford says it needs to temporarily halt production at 10 assembly plants. Coming up next, Boise says welcome back to the NBA, and it's a Boise State battle on the blue turf. Andrew Martin is next with sports. You're watching KBCI-CBS 2 News.
Accurate, objective, fair. And now, sports with Andrew Martin.
What's blue, orange, and white, and I guess really sweaty? Well, not sure exactly where I'm going with that, but it's a bunch of Boise State football players in practice jerseys. BSU holding its second scrimmage of fall camp tonight, and you see Corey Hall and some of his teammates on the sidelines. A lot of the starters sitting this one out. We'll get to that in just a second. Now, Jared Zabransky, check out that run down the sideline. He had 8 rushing attempts for 45 yards, also scored a rushing touchdown through the air. The quarterbacks were doing just fine as well. Now, Zabransky faked that one out and pitched it to sophomore Vinny Peretta. Nice moves there for the Italian stallion, as we like to call him. Peterson on the sidelines, and can they score touchdowns? Of course they can. Zabransky again going back to the air and looking for one of his receivers, and check out that nice pass. That's Iona Key. He scored a touchdown in this game. He had 108 yards, 5 catches, and those players that I said didn't actually start, Coach Pete has a reason for it.
You know, this is the last time that some of those young guys are going to really get a chance to play in front of any people at least. So we wanted to give those guys a good shot. And some guys, the Corey Halls and Gerald and those guys, I mean, they played a lot. We know what they can do. We're going to make sure that they get to the game healthy.
By the way, Boise State's third scrimmage is closed to both the public and the media. Before the Broncos put on the pads for tonight's scrimmage, they knew they're at least the 30th best Division I football team. Earlier today, the Associated Press released its top 25 preseason poll, and to read all about it, just log on to our website at KBCI-TV.com. Well, for the second straight year, the Utah Jazz will hold a week-long training camp at Taco Bell Arena. It's the first week in October, and there's a good chance many of the players in that camp could see time in a Stampede uniform this season. Unfortunately, you won't, and neither will we. The Jazz are expected to hold daily practices the whole week that are closed to both the media and the public. Seems like a theme going. For more information, just log on to our website at KBCI-TV.com. Only 2 nights left in this year's Caldwell Night Rodeo, and we've already gotten the tough enough to wear pink night out of the way. Of course, if you still want to wear pink, you're more than welcome to. Let's head out to Caldwell tonight, where the flags, stars, and stripes are running around the arena. Idaho Cowboys Zeb Lanham, second to go in the bull ride. Take a look at this. Okay, so it wasn't exactly Lanham's best ride. He is 12th in the world standings for the PRCA bull riding, but this isn't going to get him to the championships. That's tomorrow night. The top 12 in each competition group will advance. Boise Hawks on the road in Vancouver. They had a rare day game today, a 2:05 start, and the Hawks just keep on rolling. They've now won both games on this current 11-game road trip. Same 2 teams will play tomorrow night back at their regularly scheduled 8:05 start time. Finally tonight, the Extreme Fight Series is coming back to the Valley. Knockout Promotions has announced a second mixed martial arts fight series will take place at Quest Arena in mid-October. The first installment back in July sold out, and tickets for what's being called Unleashed Fury will go on sale next Friday. Brooke, Unleashed Fury, what comes to your mind when you hear that?
Bloody fighting.
That's pretty much what it comes down to, but they say it's safe.
I guess the last one was a big hit, so they're bringing it back.
Yes, it actually had more tickets sold for that fight than for the Hold Nothing Back Roy Jones Jr. fight, so
Wow.
we'll see.
All right, thanks, Andrew. We'll be right back with a final check on the weather.
Watch meteorologist Kelly Franson and AccuWeather only on KBCI CBS 2 News.
Finally tonight, there may be a sweet miracle going on for believers in Fountain Valley, California. Workers at a gourmet chocolate store say they're seeing the Virgin Mary in a 2-inch column of chocolate drippings. Since the Discovery Monday, employees have spent much of their time hovering over the tiny figure, praying and placing rose petals and candles around it. The chocolate rests in a plastic case in a back room and is brought out only for curious visitors. And I was reading the script and didn't get a chance to look. So did it look like Mary?
It looked a lot smaller than I thought it would be.
Little Mary?
Only 2 inches. So I don't know what's more rare, like the chocolate Mary or chocolate Jesus, you think?
Or the grilled cheese sandwich Jesus.
Oh, yeah. I didn't hear about that one.
See, and my favorite are those gigantic cookies. You know, the big chocolate chip cookies
Yes.
that they bake just for world records' sake? Because
Yes.
those just look so delicious.
But they don't have holy images in them, Andrew.
Well, but see, then you can eat them and not feel bad.
Good point. All right, let's get a final check on the weather.
Let's save Andrew, please. Here's a look at the weekly planner. You can see temperatures are going to get a lot warmer. For tomorrow, we're going up almost 10 degrees to 91. By Sunday at 94, and then Tuesday and Wednesday, you can see we're up there close to the triple digits once again. But sunshine all ahead for the weekly planner, so really no chance of rain. And we had some threatening clouds last week, looking like we were going to see a thunderstorm or two, but missed them most of the time.
Okay. I'm still laughing at your chocolate chip cookie comment.
Somehow
They're good.
And you don't feel
you must
guilty
be
eating
hungry, huh?
them. All right, well, that's it for us tonight. Be sure to join us tomorrow, everyone. Good night.
Accurate, objective, fair. Thanks for watching KBCI CBS 2 News. For local news and weather 24 hours a day, log on to KBCI-TV.com.
Fisher Communications.